Good morning, Cullman. Thank you for joining us on Cullman Today. I'm your host, Christine Wiggins, and today is Wednesday, January 1st. Coming up on Cullman Today, the Cullman Christkindlmarkt sets new attendance records and plans for expansion. Local businesses team up for a fantastic giveaway at the Flying 50 Hotel, and the Vitals for Victims Drive launches to support those in need. All this plus sports, weather, and more. Now let's dive into the top stories happening on Cullman Today. The 2024 Cullman Christkindlmarkt brought holiday cheer to downtown Cullman, setting new attendance records and solidifying its place as a premier seasonal event. Nathan Anderson, Executive Director of Cullman Parks, Recreation, and Sports Tourism, highlighted the event's success, noting significant improvements over last year. These included an extended market duration with 5 additional days, more food options, and a wider variety of merchandise. Extended Thursday hours provided seniors with a less crowded time to visit. The event welcomed over 300,000 attendees from 45 states, including visitors from as far away as Alaska, emphasizing Cullman's emerging status as a premier holiday destination. Cullman Mayor Woody Jacobs expressed gratitude to the Parks and Recreation Department and all city departments for their collaboration in making the event a success. He acknowledged that the atmosphere created not only brings joy to the community, but also attracts visitors from across the nation. Organizers are already planning for next year to address challenges like peak time crowding and limited access parking. Anderson said that the significant crowd sometimes made it tough for visitors to find places to eat or fully enjoy themselves. Plans are underway to expand the market site, improve operations to better handle crowds, increase parking near the north entrance, and establish a designated drop-off and pickup zone around Arnold Street for seniors and those needing easier access. Expansion plans include meeting with vendors to broaden the festival's scope and considering the use of the Cullman Economic Development Agency parking area to accommodate more vendors and attractions. Kelly Pulliam, event coordinator for Cullman Parks, Recreation, and Sports Tourism, extended heartfelt thanks to the team, vendors, volunteers, sponsors, and the community. She said their support transforms the Christkindlmarkt into a truly magical event each year. Up next, the Flying 50 Hotel and its fellow tenants are hosting an online giveaway to promote their businesses. Owner of the Flying 50, Chally Knetter, announced that Jubilee Coffee and Wine Bar, 7 Daughters Scoops, and Sipsy Vineyard and Winery are participating by providing a gift card for the contest. You can enter by going to our Facebook page, Knetter said. There's a link to enter there with all details. We really wanted to get the word out that the businesses in our building are ready or almost ready for business. It's a great mix of local businesses to support. The giveaway includes a one-night stay at the Flying 50 Hotel, a $100 gift card to Sipsy Vineyard and Winery, a $100 gift card to Jubilee Coffee and Wine Bar, and a $50 card to 7 Daughters Scoops. To enter, visit tinyurl.com/50contest. The winner will be announced on January 10th on the Flying 50's Facebook page at facebook.com/theflying50. Participants must be 21 or older to enter. And to finish up our top stories this morning, the second annual Vitals for Victims Drive will begin collecting laundry products on January 2nd and continue through January 31st to benefit victim services of Cullman and Winston counties. Organized by local resident Dinea Boyd, The drive focuses on providing essential laundry items for women and children in need, though all donations are welcome. Boyd was inspired by her client, Gwen Parker, and her involvement with victim services. Boyd shared, "Since the first drive we did a year ago, various people have dropped off numerous items all last year for me to pass on to victim services." She encourages the community to donate products such as laundry detergent for sensitive skin, baby detergents, and laundry baskets. Donations can be dropped off at the Legacy Salon located at 1640 Town Square Southwest in Cullman. Drop-off hours are Monday, Thursday, and Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Community members interested in contributing or seeking more information are encouraged to contact Dinea Boyd at 256-531-2055. And that's all for our top stories this morning. Coming up next, we'll dive into the Cold Springs Lady Eagles' dominant performance in their final game of 2024. Sports is up next.
Step into Cullman, where local heroes and community spirit shine. Introducing Community Matters Magazine from the Cullman Tribune, your guide to inspiring tales and community spirit. Celebrate our local champions and dive into the festivities at Christkindlmarkt. Feel the season's cheer and discover stories that inspire. Community Matters Magazine. Connect with your community. Find your free issue at these locations or download a copy online.
Welcome back. In today's sports segment, we're taking a closer look at the Cold Springs Lady Eagles' impressive win over Appalachian. For their final matchup of 2024, the Cold Springs Eagles and Lady Eagles were back home for a pair of varsity matchups against Appalachian Monday night, and both teams earned wins. In the girls' game, the Lady Eagles knocked down 14 three-pointers, 8 of which came from Ella Dickerson, and cruised to a 78-22 win. After dominating the first half and building a 40-12 lead, shots kept falling for the Lady Eagles in the second half. A three-pointer from Paisley Whitlow extended the lead to 43-12, and after another Bailey Purdue basket, Holland Brewer banked in a three to make it a 48-12 game midway through the third quarter. Cadence Williams laid one in to make it 50-14, and Ella Dickerson followed with another three to give the Lady Eagles a 53-14 lead. After a Macy Huffstutler free throw, Dickerson buried back-to-back threes in the final minute of the third to put Cold Springs ahead 60-14 at the start of the fourth. Avery Gerstmann drilled a three-pointer to keep the Lady Eagles in front 63-18 early in the fourth quarter, and Kennedy Graves drove to the basket and scored on the next possession to make it 65-18. Gerstmann scored off a turnover and added to the lead midway through the final period, and she followed it up with a three on the ensuing possession to make it a 70-20 game. Huffstutler laid another in, Aaliyah Addison buried a three, and Gerstmann scored one more basket to wrap up a dominant 78-22 win for Cold Springs. Dickerson led the Lady Eagles with 26 points and knocked down 8 three-pointers in the win. Gerstmann finished with 11 points, and Graves and Williams each posted 9. The Lady Eagles will be back home Friday night to host West Morgan. And that wraps up sports for today. After the break, we'll bring you 4 stories in under 4 minutes, including a weather outlook from meteorologist Jason Simpson, the Link's impactful year of community service, and remembering former Sheriff Wendell Roden. We'll return right after this message. Welcome back. Now it's time to speed things up with a news rundown, 4 stories in under 4 minutes. WVTM meteorologist Jason Simpson is forecasting some unexpected weather patterns for Alabama in the first 2 weeks of January. He notes that it's rare to see such predictions coming from NOAA that aren't just model predictions, but actual outlooks for colder, wintry weather. Simpson explains that while weather models factor into forecasts, they aren't the forecast itself, as models can fluctuate. The current outlook provides a steadier guide toward what's ahead. Here are the key points from Simpson's forecast. Colder air arriving. Colder temperatures hit today and become progressively colder in the weekend. At first, you might not notice much, but by Saturday and Sunday, the chill will be significant. Sunday's unusual weather. Sunday is shaping up to be an odd day. There's a slight chance of sleet or freezing rain, but in Alabama, the odds of it making a significant impact are low. Some model guidance hints at it, but it's too uncertain to include in the official forecast. Temperature swings and high winds. Sunday morning will be cold and damp with temperatures in the 40s by lunchtime. By midnight, temperatures could rise into the 50s and 60s, accompanied by strong winds gusting up to 50 miles per hour and heavy rainfall. Arctic air and cold fronts. The first wave of a fresh Arctic air arrives on Monday, followed by at least 2 more cold fronts next week. As for snow and ice, Simpson says the potential is there, but admits, an honest assessment says, I don't know enough yet to tell you yes or no for Birmingham or Huntsville, Montgomery, New Orleans, or Nashville yet. It's the wild, wild west in the model guidance. Regarding below zero temperatures, he notes that Birmingham hasn't been below zero since 1985 and Huntsville International Airport since 1989. Simpson explains, we would have to have some snow or ice on the ground to be able to get there. While it may not be record-setting cold, Simpson warns that extended cold spells can cause major problems for plumbing, pool pumps, highways, outdoor animals, farms, and schools. On a lighter note, he adds, if your friendly neighborhood meteorologist gets a little cranky with the trolls, it's just best to let him go. Up next, as we wrap up 2024 and look ahead to 2025, the Link of Cullman County is sharing some remarkable numbers. Over the past 12 months, they've recorded 19,904 instances of assistance to neighbors in need, addressing immediate and long-term challenges in our community. More than 12,000 of these assistances provided food and basic survival resources. Through the pantry at the Link, families struggling with food insecurity received ingredients for nourishing meals. Children were mentored one-on-one through the Volunteers in Public Schools program. Men and women transitioning from incarceration received support through one-on-one case management to ease re-entry challenges. Residents facing homelessness were aided through eviction prevention and rapid rehousing programs. Fathers seeking guidance benefited from the 24/7 Dad program, while parents received resources to succeed through parenting classes. Lives are being changed at the Link, but they can't do it alone. They need your help to continue meeting the growing needs in Cullman. Many nonprofits rely on end-of-year giving for a significant portion of their operating funds. As we tie up the loose ends of 2024 and look forward to fresh beginnings in 2025, the Link humbly asks for your consideration and support. In other news, former Cullman County Sheriff George Wendell Roden, age 88, passed away on December 27th. His funeral was held on December 30th with many local law enforcement agencies and fire departments gathering to pay their respects. Roden served as Cullman County Sheriff from 1978 to 1990 after beginning his law enforcement career with the Cullman Police Department in 1965. He was the second of 4 generations of law enforcement officers in the Roden family. His obituary described him as an innovator who greatly influenced Cullman County law enforcement. Most importantly, he loved his community and left an influence of community service that continues in many to this day, it read. The community honors Sheriff Roden's dedication and lasting impact on local law enforcement. And finally, the Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources Marine Resources Division is looking for your input on some proposed changes to fishing regulations. Director Scott Bannon says they're considering several ideas to help manage Alabama's saltwater fisheries better. One proposal is to open the recreational red snapper season for the entire month of June instead of just the 4-day weekends we have now. They're also thinking about adjusting the bag limits for sheep's head, lowering it from 10 to 8 fish per person to help sustain the population as more anglers are targeting them. For redfish, also known as red drum, they might eliminate keeping the oversized fish over 26 inches to maintain a healthy spawning population. And here's something interesting. Snook, a fish usually found in South Florida, have started appearing in Alabama waters. The division is considering setting a bag limit of 1 snook per person with a minimum length of 24 inches. They're also seeking feedback on regulations for triple tail, stingrays, skates, and sharks due to conservation concerns and increased interest from anglers. On a positive note, flounder populations are rebounding, and they might increase trip limits for commercial gill netters, which would support our local fishermen and seafood providers. If you'd like to share your thoughts on these proposals, you can email marine.resources@dcnr.alabama.gov. And to check out all the proposed regulations for 2025, visit outdooralabama.com. And that's your 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Now for a quick break before we look at the weather ahead and pay our respects with obituaries. I'll be right back after this quick message. Welcome back. Let's take a moment to pause and remember those who have lost their lives this week as we turn to obituaries. Lorene Earlene Brown, 99 of Cullman, passed away on Monday, December 30th. Funeral services for Ms. Brown is Thursday, January 2nd at 2 p.m. at Jones Chapel First Baptist Church. Visitation will be held at the church today from 6 to 8 p.m. Ms. Brown will lie in state on Thursday at the church from noon to 2 p.m. Interment will follow at Jones Chapel Cemetery. Elise R. Arcana, 98 of Hansville, passed away on Monday, December 30. Ms. Arcana will have a memorial mass at St. Mary's Catholic Church with entombment at Greenwood Cemetery in New Orleans, Louisiana at a later date. Brenda J. Nail, 78 of Cullman, passed away on Saturday, December 28th. A celebration of life visitation for Miss Nail will be held Friday, January 3rd from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at Moss Service Funeral Home, followed by a Celebration of Life funeral service on Saturday, January 4th at 11 a.m. at Moss Service Funeral Home. Miss Nail will be laid to rest in Good Hope Cemetery. And that finishes up obituaries for today. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their friends and families. Now, let's take a moment to look ahead at today's weather forecast. Today, on this New Year's Day, expect mostly sunny skies with a high around 49. It's a perfect day to kick off the new year with some outdoor activities. Tonight, we'll have mostly clear skies with temperatures dropping to around 27. Some patchy fog might develop late, so if you were out and about, be cautious on the roads. Tomorrow morning, you might see a bit of fog early on, but it'll clear up quickly, giving way to sunny skies and another high near 49 degrees. Tomorrow night, we'll have partly cloudy skies with a low around 31. Looks like a chilly but beautiful start to the new year, so bundle up and enjoy. And that wraps up today's edition of Cullman Today. We appreciate you sharing your morning with us. And remember to stay connected by following us on social media and visiting CullmanTribune.com for the latest from our community. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. But until then, I'm Christine Wiggins with Cullman Today, wishing you a wonderful New Year, Cullman.